I'm sitting on my couch watching some cooking competition show when the broadcast cuts to static. Then that sound, the emergency alert system. That flat, robotic tone that always made me change the channel during tests. Only this time it keeps going, and a computerized voice starts listing evacuation zones and shelter locations. And I'm barely processing the words suspected viral outbreak and avoid contact with affected individuals before the screen just goes black. My first thought is terrorism. Second thought is some kind of prank. Third thought doesn't form because I'm already walking to my balcony, still holding the remote like an idiot. The street below looks wrong. I live on the 4th floor of this converted industrial building in what used to be the warehouse district. I'm back before they gentrified it with artisan coffee shops and boutique gyms. From up here, I can usually see the intersection of Maple and 5th, the bus stop, the organic grocery store that charges $8 for a single avocado. Sunday evening, there should be joggers, dog walkers, the usual urban white noise. Instead, there's a woman in yoga pants stumbling across the street like she's blackout drunk at 2 in the afternoon. Except it's 7 p.m. and she's making this sound, not screaming, more like choking or gargling. A man in a business suit is on the ground near the bus stop, and I think he's having a seizure until I see the other guy on top of him. Biting him. Actually biting into his shoulder, and the business suit guy is thrashing, and there's blood. So much blood pooling on the sidewalk, and I step back from the railing so fast I almost trip over my own feet. My hands shake as I lock the balcony door. Stupid. Like glass is going to help. But I lock it anyway, and then I'm moving through my apartment in this weird autopilot mode, checking the front door, deadbolt, chain, done, and grabbing my phone except there's no signal, not searching for service, just nothing. Emergency calls only. I try anyway. It rings once, then disconnects. The television is still black. I switch to every news channel. Nothing. Local access shows that blue screen with the weather forecast from 3 hours ago. I pull up news sites on my phone using the Wi-Fi before that cuts out too, and the last headline I see before everything goes dead is CDC warns aggressive flu strain, which is the kind of headline that means everything and nothing. I stand in my kitchen for probably 2 full minutes, just breathing and thinking about the greenhouse. 6 months ago, I started this project. Stupid prepper fantasy stuff that I told myself was just a hobby, just an interesting way to use the empty rooftop space. The building management didn't care. This place is half empty anyway. They're just happy someone's paying rent. So I hauled materials up there bit by bit. Plywood, tarps, chicken wire, potting soil in those huge bags that destroyed my back. Built raised beds. Rigged a rainwater collection system from old gutters and food-grade barrels. Planted tomatoes, beans, lettuce, herbs. They put together a little shelter space in the corner using corrugated metal sheets and 2x4s. Stocked it with canned food from Costco runs, bought a water filter, a camping stove, batteries, first aid supplies. Even got a gun, a Glock 19 that I barely knew how to use. And 2 boxes of ammunition from some sketchy gun show, because I'd watched too many zombie movies and thought, what if? What if? I grabbed the gun from where I keep it locked in my bedroom closet. 15 rounds in the magazine, 1 box and a half left. Maybe 70 bullets total if I'm counting right. Not enough. Definitely not enough if this is actually happening, if those things outside are actually what I think they are. Back to the balcony. I don't open the door, just look through the glass. More of them now. They move wrong, jerky and shambling, but with this horrible purpose, all heading towards sound or movement. I watch one of them, some teenager in a hoodie, walk straight into a parked car because there's someone screaming inside. The zombie just keeps pressing against the window, hands slapping the glass, face smearing blood and something else across it. The person inside stops screaming eventually. I need to get to the roof. The building has 6 floors. I'm on 4. There's an old service stairwell that goes all the way up. Metal stairs, concrete walls, one of those push-bar doors at the top that I propped open months ago with a cinder block because I was too lazy to keep unlocking it every time I went up to check on the plants. I grabbed my emergency backpack, the one I packed during my prepper phase, and honestly forgot about until right now. Throw in the ammunition, some extra clothes, my phone charger, even though I don't know if power will stay on. The gun goes in my waistband like I'm in some action movie, except it just feels cold and heavy and wrong. The hallway outside my apartment is empty. Fluorescent lights buzzing. I can hear something behind Mrs. Patterson's door on the other end. She's 80-something, lives alone, has like 6 cats. There's scratching, low moaning. I should check on her. I should help. I walk past her door and I hate myself for it. But I keep walking. The stairwell is worse because of the echo. Every footstep sounds like a gunshot. I take the stairs 2 at a time going up, passing the 5th floor, and then I'm at the rooftop access door and it's still propped open, thank God. And I'm outside in the evening air and it smells like smoke. Something's burning a few blocks away. The sky is that weird orange-pink color, clouds lit up by the sunset and also by something on fire in the financial district. My greenhouse is exactly where I left it. The whole setup takes up maybe a quarter of the roof. The growing beds arranged in rows, the shelter tucked against the old elevator housing for wind protection. I built walls on 3 sides using scavenged materials, metal sheeting and plywood. Left the south side open to the greenhouse structure for light. There's a door I made from an old wooden frame and hinges, latches from the inside. Weatherproof tarp for a roof. It's not pretty, but it's functional. And right now, looking at it, I feel this weird surge of vindication mixed with absolute terror because I built this as a fantasy, and now I might actually have to live in it. I do a quick inventory. 6 5-gallon water containers, all full. The rain barrels have maybe 40 gallons total. Food in plastic bins, canned soup, beans, vegetables, tuna, those meal replacement bars that taste like cardboard, rice, pasta, oatmeal. I counted once. Came up with maybe 3 months' worth if I'm careful. Seeds in labeled envelopes, tools, rope, duct tape. A camping stove with fuel canisters, battery-powered radio and lantern, solar charger for my phone, even though I don't know if cell service will ever come back, sleeping bag, extra shoes, knife, crowbar. All the things I bought telling myself it was just in case, or never believing there would actually be a case. The plants are doing okay. Tomatoes are small but growing. Lettuce is ready to harvest. Beans need another few weeks. I have seed potatoes in one bed that haven't sprouted yet. It's not enough to live on, not for a long time. But it's something. I lock myself inside the shelter and sit on the folding cot I set up in here and try to make sense of what just happened. Sunday evening I was watching television. Now I'm hiding on a rooftop while the world apparently ends. There has to be more to it. Some explanation, military response, FEMA, something. The radio picks up static on every channel until I hit AM 660, and there's a voice, a breaking up but audible. Stay in your homes. Infected individuals extremely dangerous. Avoid all contact. Then it cuts to that emergency tone again and loops back to the beginning. I turn it off. From up here, I can see a decent chunk of the city. Maybe a mile in each direction before buildings block the view. There are fires. 3 that I can count, black smoke rising straight up in the still air. No sirens. That's what gets me, the absence of sirens. On a normal night, there's always sirens, ambulances, police, fire trucks. Now there's nothing except car alarms going off in this random, scattered pattern. and sometimes screaming that carries up from the streets but sounds so far away it's almost not real. I watch until it gets too dark to see much. No streetlights come on. A few buildings have lights in windows, but not many. Man, I think about my phone, about trying to call my brother in Seattle or my ex-girlfriend Emma who moved to Denver last year. But there's still no signal, and the battery's at 40%, and I should save it. For what? I don't know. Angry birds? Sleep doesn't happen. I lie on the cot listening to the city make sounds I've never heard it make before. Glass breaking, car crashes, screams that cut off suddenly. Once, maybe around midnight, I hear gunshots. Pop, 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 3 in a row, then silence. I grip my gun and stare at the tarp ceiling and wonder if I should have stayed in my apartment. At least it had real walls. A real door, a bathroom. Shit. Bathroom. I didn't think about that. I have a bucket in the corner that I was going to use for compost. Guess it has a new purpose now. Morning comes gray and cold. I'm shaking. Temperature dropped overnight, and my shelter isn't exactly insulated. I put on every layer I brought up and eat a protein bar that tastes like chocolate-flavored sand. The radio still has nothing new. Same looped message. Stay inside. Avoid contact. Wait for further instructions. I risk going to the edge of the roof to look down at the street. It's worse in daylight. Bodies everywhere. Some of them moving, most not. The yoga pants woman from last night is still down there, hunched over something I can't identify and don't want to. A delivery truck is crashed into the organic grocery, its front end crumpled, driver's door hanging open. The bus stop has 4 or 5 of those things clustered around it, just standing there like they're actually waiting for the bus. One of them has half its face missing, but it's still upright and still swaying slightly. I count 12 zombies just in my immediate visible area. 12 that I can see. Who knows how many more in buildings, in cars, in alleys. This is real. This is actually happening. I go back to the shelter and throw up in the bucket. The first week is the hardest because I keep expecting rescue. Every helicopter I hear, and I hear 3 of them in those first few days. I think it's going to land, going to evacuate survivors. They never do. They just fly over in wide circles, then disappear. The last one I see is on day 4, and it's trailing smoke, flying low and erratic. I watch it disappear behind the skyline to the east, and then there's this distant crump sound like thunder, and a new column of black smoke rises up. No more helicopters after that. The radio goes dead on day 3, just static on every channel. I try my phone every morning, even though I know it's pointless. No signal, no Wi-Fi. I charge it with the solar panel anyway. This ritual that gives me something to do. Water is okay for now. It rained on day 2, heavy storm that filled my collection barrels most of the way. I'm rationing the clean water in the 5-gallon jugs, using rainwater for washing and cooking after running it through my filter. The filter is good for maybe 10,000 gallons, according to the package. I'm using roughly a gallon a day for everything, so I have time. Probably. Food is the issue. I'm eating 1 small meal a day, sometimes 2 if I'm feeling weak. Canned soup stretched with rice. Oatmeal. The protein bars I'm saving for emergencies, even though this entire situation is an emergency. And I harvested the lettuce on day 5, and it was the best salad I've ever had, even without dressing, just leaves with a little salt. I cried while I ate it. The tomatoes won't be ready for weeks. Beans maybe sooner. I planted more seeds, radishes, spinach, more lettuce, anything with a quick growing cycle. Watered them with rainwater and said a little prayer to whatever God handles rooftop gardens during the apocalypse. The zombies are consistent. That's almost comforting in a sick way. They don't climb stairs. I tested this theory on day 6, watching one of them try to navigate the front steps of the building across the street. It just kept walking into the railing, stepping back, walking into it again. No problem solving, no learning, just stimulus response. Sound attracts them, movement attracts them, but they can't figure out vertical space. There are survivors in other buildings. I see them sometimes, watching from windows. On day 7, I spot someone on a rooftop 3 blocks west, waving a white cloth. I wave back. The next day they're gone. I don't know if they left or if something else happened. I don't see anyone in that building again. At night I hear screams sometimes. During the day I hear crashes, car alarms, the shuffle and moan of the dead moving through the streets below. Once I hear a baby crying, and I have to go back into my shelter and put a pillow over my head until it stops. I'm rationing bullets like they're made of gold. Haven't fired the gun once. 15 rounds in the magazine, 70-something total. Every bullet is a potential meal, or a potential escape, or a potential defense against something I can't even imagine yet. So I keep the gun loaded and ready, but untouched. On day 9, I watch a group of maybe 30 zombies shuffle past my building, all heading north in this weird, uncoordinated herd. They're following sound. Somewhere up there, someone's car alarm is going off. Has been going off for hours. The zombies just shamble toward it, like moths to a flame. Takes them 20 minutes to pass, and the street is empty after, just bodies and trash and abandoned cars. I wonder if anyone else had a greenhouse, if anyone else prepared for this specific, stupid scenario. Day 12, and I'm starting to smell. No shower, just washing with a wet rag and a little soap. My hair is greasy, teeth feel fuzzy even though I'm brushing with rainwater. I smell like sweat and fear and the bucket in the corner that I empty off the north side of the roof every few days, trying not to think about what I'm dumping onto the street below. The plants are growing, though. That's something. Little radish sprouts pushing through the soil. The bean plants are flowering. I spend hours just watching them, pulling weeds that aren't even there, adjusting the makeshift trellis I built from bamboo stakes and twine. It's meditative. It's the only thing keeping me from losing my mind. I talk to myself now. Full conversations. Okay, so we need to water the south bed. Those tomatoes are looking a little dry. Yeah, I know, but we can spare a quarter gallon. Rain's supposed to come. Well, actually, we have no idea if rain's coming, do we? No weather forecast, no meteorologist. Just clouds or no clouds. I sound insane, but there's nobody to judge me except the zombies, and they're not exactly in a position to criticize. Day 15, I see a dog. Alive, running down the street with something in its mouth. 3 zombies chase it, but they're so slow the dog just trots away. I wonder how long animals will last, if they can get infected. I haven't seen any zombie dogs yet, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. The fires have mostly burned out. The city smells like ash and rot. On clear days, the smell is worse, rises up 6 stories and seeps into everything. I tie a bandana around my face when it gets bad, but it doesn't help much. I'm losing weight. Can feel it in how my jeans hang loose, how my ribs are starting to show. One small meal a day isn't enough, but it has to be enough because the alternative is running out faster. I do jumping jacks in the shelter to stay warm, to keep my muscles from atrophying. Push-ups, sit-ups. The routine of a prisoner. Day 18 and I spot another survivor. Same rooftop where I saw the person with the white cloth. This time it's someone different. I can tell by the build, the way they move. They're doing something with containers, maybe collecting rainwater like me. I wave. They see me, freeze, then duck behind a ventilation unit. Don't come back out. I guess trust is dead too. The bean plants are producing. Tiny green beans, only a handful, but I pick them and eat them raw, sitting in my shelter, and they taste like hope. I save 3 of the biggest beans to let mature for seeds, planning ahead, like I have a future to plan for. Day 20 and my phone dies. Not the battery. I've been keeping it charged. The phone itself just won't turn on. I try everything. Different chargers. Taking the case off. Saying please. Nothing. It's dead. My last connection to the world before. And it's just gone. I throw it across the shelter and it bounces off the metal wall, and I immediately scramble to pick it up and check for damage like it matters. Like there's anyone to call, even if it worked. I find a crack across the screen and I cry about it for an hour. The radio is still dead. I scan through AM and FM every morning anyway. Static, static, static. Sometimes I think I hear voices, but it's just my brain making patterns from white noise. I'm starting to notice things about the zombies. They're slower now than they were at first. Not by much, but enough that I can tell. Their movements are jerkier, less coordinated. The ones I can see from up here are falling apart, literally. I watch one lose an arm on day 22, just have it fall off while it's walking, and it doesn't even react. Just keeps shambling along with one arm. Maybe they have a shelf life. Maybe this will end on its own as they rot away. Or maybe fresh ones keep getting made. I see it happen on day 24. Someone runs out of a building 2 blocks south, makes it maybe 50 feet before they're swarmed. 5 zombies on them at once. The screaming lasts a long time. Too long. When it stops and the zombies move away, the person stands up. Stands up wrong, all jerky and broken, and joins the shambling crowd. So no, this won't just end. I harvest more beans. Radishes that are small but edible. The tomatoes are sizing up, still green but getting there. I eat a can of soup and half a packet of instant rice and tell myself it's a feast. Day 27, and something changes. I wake up to silence. Like real silence. No moans from the street, no shuffling. I look over the edge, and the street is empty. Not a single zombie in sight. The bodies are still there, the cars, the debris, but the walking dead are just gone. I wait an hour, watching. Nothing. They must have followed some sound away from this area, migrated like some kind of horrible flock of birds. This might be a chance. For what, I don't know. To scavenge? To find other survivors? To escape to somewhere safer, though I have no idea where that would be? I don't leave the roof. The fear of getting caught in the open outweighs any potential benefit. Up here I have water, food, defensible position. Down there I have nothing except risk. But I think about it. I think about it a lot. Day 30 and the tomatoes are starting to turn red. Just one, just the beginnings of a blush on the largest fruit. But it's happening. I check it 5 times a day, like watching will make it ripen faster. I've fallen into routines. Wake up when the sun rises, check the plants. Ration out breakfast, usually oatmeal or a protein bar. Water everything that needs it. Check the street for zombies, scan the radio, charge my dead phone because I can't break the habit. Exercise. Lunch if I'm having lunch. More plant care. Dinner. Sit in the shelter and listen to the city die. Sleep. Repeat. It's boring. It's terrifying. It's both at once. Day 33. I see a plane. High up, just a white contrail streaking across the blue sky. But I watch it until it disappears. Where is it going? Is there somewhere that's still normal, still functioning? Or is it running from something just like me? The first tomato is fully red on day 35. I pick it with shaking hands. It's small, maybe the size of a golf ball, and it has a split on one side from irregular watering. I eat it standing in the garden, juice running down my chin, seeds on my tongue. It tastes like summer, like life before. I eat the whole thing, including the stem end, and I don't care. There are more coming. 6 tomatoes sizing up nicely. The beans are producing steadily now, enough that I can eat a small handful every few days. The second round of radishes is ready. The lettuce is coming back. I'm not going to starve, not yet. Day 38, and I hear a gunshot. Close, maybe in my building. 3 more shots, rapid fire. Then screaming, then nothing. I stay in my shelter with my gun drawn, safety off, hands trembling. Nobody comes to the roof. The next day I smell something bad wafting up the stairwell. Worse than the usual rot smell. I block the roof access door with my cinder block and a metal shelf unit I drag over. It won't stop anything determined, but it makes me feel better. I haven't seen the survivor on the other rooftop in over a week. Their rainwater containers are still there, but nobody's moving around. I choose to believe they found somewhere safer. It's a nice lie. Day 41, and a storm rolls in. Real storm, thunder and lightning and rain so heavy I can't see the building across the street. I set out every container I have to catch water. My barrels overflow. I stand in the rain with my mouth open. I'm drinking it straight from the sky, washing my hair with a sliver of soap, scrubbing my skin until it's pink. The rainwater is cold and clean, and I feel almost human for the first time in weeks. The storm lasts 3 hours. When it clears, the streets are flooded, water running in rivers through the intersections. Bodies bob along like horrible rafts. The zombies don't care about the water, just keep walking through it, some of them getting swept along by the current. I watch one get stuck against a car, pinned by the flow, and it just keeps trying to walk forward, even though it's going nowhere. Still there when night falls. Still there in the morning. Eventually, the water recedes, and it shambles away. Day 45, and I'm out of coffee. I didn't ration it right. I drank it too freely in those first weeks, when I thought this might be short-term. Now I'm down to the last jar of instant, and I'm spooning the grounds directly into my mouth, chasing them with water, trying to get some kind of caffeine hit. It barely works. I'm tired all the time anyway. The protein bars are gone. Half the canned soup. I'm eating beans and radishes and lettuce with rice, sometimes with canned tuna mixed in. It's not enough calories. I know it's not enough. But it's what I have. I think about going downstairs to my apartment. I left food there. Freezer full of stuff that's definitely spoiled by now. But there's a pantry with crackers, pasta, canned goods I didn't bring up, spices, salt, sugar, coffee. But I'd have to go through the building, past Mrs. Patterson's door where something was scratching that first night, down 4 flights of stairs, into my apartment, which might not be empty anymore. Not worth it. Can't be worth it. Day 50 and I see people, actual living people. 3 of them, moving down the street in formation, like military or cops. They have rifles, tactical gear. One of them stops and shoots a zombie in the head. Clean shot, the thing drops. They're clearing the area, moving with purpose. I want to yell to them, want to wave, signal, get their attention. But something stops me. Maybe it's the way they're moving, all business, no hurry to help. Maybe it's the fact that they shoot the zombie without hesitation, which means they've done this before, which means they're organized, which means there are groups out there and groups have rules and hierarchies, and I don't know if I want to be part of that. Or maybe I'm just scared of people now, of what people might do in a world without rules. I watch them clear the block and move on. They never look up. Day 53 and I'm sick. Woke up with chills, Headache, nausea. Can't keep food down. Spend the whole day curled on my cot shivering even though I'm wearing every piece of clothing I own. Terror grips me. What if I'm infected? What if whatever made those people into zombies is inside me now? But I don't have a bite. Don't have any open wounds. Haven't had contact with anyone in almost 2 months. It's just a regular sickness. Flu, maybe. Or food poisoning from something I ate. Or my body giving up from stress and malnutrition. I ride it out, drink water, sleep, vomit in the bucket. By day 55, I'm feeling better. Just weak and wrung out. Lost more weight I couldn't afford to lose. But alive. The tomatoes keep ripening. I eat them like medicine. Day 58, I spot smoke from a building 6 blocks east. Not wildfire smoke, cooking smoke. Thin gray column rising straight up. Someone else is surviving. Using fire, which means they feel safe enough, comfortable enough. I wonder if they have a group. Wonder if they'd take in a scarecrow of a person with a greenhouse and 60-ish bullets. The smoke is there for 3 days, then gone. I don't see it again. Day 60 and the nights are getting colder. I didn't think about winter. It's only September. Was September when this started? Must be November now, or close to it. I have a sleeping bag, but it's rated for summer camping, not prolonged outdoor living. I have the camping stove, but limited fuel, and I'm going to freeze up here when real winter hits. Unless I go inside. Back to my apartment, or find another building with better shelter. The thought terrifies me more than it should. I start bringing scavenged materials to the shelter. Cardboard, newspapers I find wrapped around plant pots, anything that might add insulation. I layer cardboard inside the metal walls. It helps a little, not enough. Day 64 and the zombies are back. Not as many as before, maybe 20 on my street. But they're here. The quiet period is over. They shuffle aimlessly, sometimes clustering around areas where they might smell something. I watch one try to eat a dead body and it can't figure out how, just chews on the jacket. They're decaying fast now. Some of them are barely held together, held up by whatever virus or parasite is driving them. Still dangerous though, still lethal if you get close. Day 67. I realize I haven't said a word out loud in 3 days. I talk to myself constantly, but inside my head, just running commentary. When I finally speak, just, okay, need to water the beans. My voice sounds wrong. Rusty, like it belongs to someone else. I make myself talk out loud after that. Narrate my actions, sing songs I half remember, recite movie quotes. Anything to keep my voice from disappearing completely. The beans are producing consistently now. I'm getting a handful every few days. I let some of the pods mature fully for seeds. Planning ahead. Planning for a future where I'm still here, still growing things, still alive. Day 70, and I finish the last can of soup. The last can of tuna. The last packet of rice. All I have left is oatmeal, maybe a week's worth, and some bouillon cubes that are mostly salt. And the garden. The beans and tomatoes and lettuce and radishes that are somehow thriving despite everything. I'm going to have to go downstairs. Have to scavenge. Have to take the risk. But not yet. I'll wait until the oatmeal is gone. Until I absolutely have to. Day 73, and it rains again. I collect water, wash myself, wash my clothes in a bucket, and hang them to dry on a line I strung between the greenhouse frame and the ventilation unit. Standing naked on a rooftop in a dead city while my underwear drips dry would be funny if it wasn't my life. I see a cat on a fire escape across the street. Orange tabby, looking fat and healthy. Survivor. I salute it. It ignores me. Day 76, and I hear voices. Human voices. And coming from the street. I crawl to the roof edge and look down. 4 people, 2 men and 2 women, moving quietly with makeshift weapons. Baseball bat, crowbar, kitchen knife duct taped to a broom handle. They're young, maybe college age. Moving door to door, checking cars, scavenging like I need to do. One of them breaks a car window, and the sound brings zombies shambling from around the corner. Maybe 10 of them. The 4 people group up, back to back, and fight. It's messy and desperate and loud. One of the men takes a hit. Zombie grabs his arm, but his friend caves in its skull with the bat. They're good. They've done this before. They get through it with just minor injuries, and then they scatter into a building, carrying backpacks full of whatever they scavenged. I don't call out to them, don't signal, just watch them disappear. Maybe I'm becoming too isolated, too used to being alone. Maybe I should try to join a group, find other survivors. Or maybe every person I let know I exist is a potential threat to my food, my water, my shelter. I don't know which instinct is right anymore. Day 80 and the oatmeal is gone. I eat the last packet mixed with rainwater and a precious teaspoon of sugar I've been hoarding. It's time. I'm going downstairs. I spend the whole day preparing. Check the gun. Still 15 rounds in the magazine. I've never fired it. Never even dry fired it. And I'm probably going to be useless with it if things go bad. But it's something. I pack a backpack with empty water bottles, cloth bags for carrying stuff, wear my best boots, my darkest clothes, tie my hair back, and splash rainwater on my face like it's cologne, and I'm getting ready for a date instead of a supply run into a building that might be full of zombies. The sun is setting when I move the shelf and cinder block away from the roof access door. The stairwell beyond is dark. That smell is still there, rot and old blood and something chemical that makes my eyes water. I turn on my flashlight, battery-powered LED, bright enough to illuminate the concrete stairs heading down. I go slow, gun in one hand, flashlight in the other, trying to remember everything I've seen in zombie movies. Check corners. Don't let anything get behind you. Headshots only. 5th floor landing is clear. 6th floor must be storage or something. I've never been up there. Down to the 5th floor hallway and it's empty, doors all closed. Keep going. 4th floor, my floor. The hallway lights are out, but there's dim gray light coming from the window at the far end. Mrs. Patterson's door is open, just hanging there in the darkness. I don't look inside. Don't need to see. The smell tells me enough. My apartment is 3 doors down. The door is closed, just like I left it. I try the handle, locked. I kept my keys, always kept them in my pocket, even up on the roof, like some superstitious charm. I unlock the door, and it swings open into darkness. The apartment smells stale, but not rotten. No one's been here. Nothing's moved in. I sweep the flashlight across the living room. Couch, TV, coffee table with a water ring from the glass I was drinking from that last normal Sunday. Everything exactly where I left it. The kitchen. That's what I need. I move fast, trying not to think. I was just grabbing cans from the cupboard and shoving them in my backpack. Soup, beans, vegetables, fruit. Pasta, rice. A jar of peanut butter that makes me want to cry with relief. Crackers, cereal, salt, sugar, spices. Coffee. 3 unopened bags of ground coffee that I clutch like treasure. Protein powder from when I thought I'd start working out. Vitamins. Everything fits in the backpack and 2 cloth grocery bags. The freezer is a horror show. Everything thawed and refroze and grew mold. I don't open it all the way, just seal it back up and back away. Bathroom next. Toilet paper, soap, toothpaste, first aid supplies, tampons, even though my period stopped weeks ago from the stress and malnutrition. Grab it anyway. It might come back. I want to take more. Want to clear out the whole apartment. But I can only carry so much, and I need to move fast before something finds me. I'm heading for the door when I hear it. Shuffling in the hallway, wet breathing, the slap of bare feet on linoleum. I freeze. Flashlight off, gun up, listening, more shuffling. It's between me and the stairwell. I can hear it moving, probably drawn by the light or the noise I made grabbing supplies. My apartment has a balcony, 4 stories up. No fire escape. But there's the building next door, old brick warehouse with external pipes and architectural detail. Maybe 5 feet away, 6 at most. I've never jumped a gap like that, never had to. The shuffling is closer, right outside my door. I can see a shadow moving in the dim light from the hallway window. Just one of them. Just one. I could try to fight it. I put the gun against its head and pull the trigger. But gunshots attract more of them, and I don't know how many are in the building. Balcony it is. I move fast, quiet as I can, through the living room to the sliding glass door. It's still locked from when I secured everything that first night. I unlock it, slide it open inch by inch, trying not to make sound. The balcony is small, just enough room for a chair and a plant pot that's now full of dead flowers. Behind me, I hear my apartment door creak open. It's inside. I sling the backpack on, loop the grocery bags around my wrists. Look at the building next door. 5 feet, maybe 6. 4 stories straight down to concrete and rebar and zombie-infested street. The thing is, in my living room. I can hear it knocking into furniture. Any second it's going to see me. And I climb onto the balcony railing. Metal, thin, not meant for standing on. It flexes under my weight. The grocery bags swing and throw off my balance. I'm going to fall. Going to die on the street below and reanimate and join the shambling masses. The zombie sees me. Makes that sound. Wet gargle. Hungry moan. Starts shuffling toward the balcony. I jump. For a second I'm weightless, and the ground is so far below, and this was the stupidest idea I've ever had. Then I'm slamming into brick, hands scrambling for purchase on a decorative ledge, grocery bags swinging wildly. My fingers find a pipe bracket. I grip it, haul myself against the building. My feet find a window ledge. I'm not falling, not dead. Somehow not dead. The zombie on my balcony reaches for me. Just stands there with its arms out like it's asking for a hug. I look at it. Used to be a middle-aged man in business casual, now just rot held together by whatever dark magic runs this apocalypse. Half its face is gone. It's still wearing glasses. I climb. There's enough architectural detail on this old building that I can find holds. Up to the 5th floor, then 6th. My arms are screaming. The backpack weighs 1,000 pounds. The grocery bags keep slipping on my wrists, cutting off circulation. I reach the roof of the warehouse building and haul myself over the ledge and just lie there for a long time, breathing, not believing I'm alive. Eventually, I stand up and look around. This roof is bigger than mine. Flat, empty except for HVAC equipment and pigeon shit. And it connects to the next building, and that one to the next. I can see it now, a route across the rooftops, building to building, maybe all the way back to my place without touching the ground. I find a service ladder between buildings, cross over carefully, testing my weight on each step. The next roof has a water tower. The one after that has an old billboard. I keep moving, navigating by memory, and the position of the sun, until I recognize my building from this new angle. There's a gap between the last building and mine. Maybe 10 feet, no jumping that. But there's a plank, old wood, probably used for maintenance. I drag it over and lay it across the gap. Test it with one foot. It holds. I cross it like a tightrope walker, grocery bags balanced, backpack throwing off my center of gravity. Don't look down. Don't think about falling. Just move. I make it. Collapse on my roof next to the greenhouse and laugh until I'm crying. I didn't fire a single shot. Didn't kill anything. Just ran away and climbed and got lucky. But I have supplies. 3 bags of coffee, cans of food, peanut butter. Enough to last another month, maybe 2 if I'm careful. I made it back alive. Day 81, and I inventory everything I brought back. Organize it in the shelter, stack the cans, ration it out mentally. With the garden producing, I might make it to spring. Might survive the winter. Then what? Live on this roof forever? Grow old alone with my beans and tomatoes? I don't think that far ahead. Can't afford to. I eat peanut butter straight from the jar with my fingers, and it's the best thing I've tasted in months. Day 85, and I spot movement on another rooftop. Not the one where I saw people before. This is south, maybe 8 blocks away. Someone waving a sheet or a flag, white fabric catching the sun. I wave back with my own makeshift flag, a pillowcase tied to a bamboo stake. They're too far away to see clearly, but they're alive. Another survivor, maybe more than one. I keep the flag up for an hour, but they don't signal again. Still, it's something. Proof I'm not the last person left in the city. The knowledge is comforting and lonely at the same time. Day 90 and winter is definitely coming. The temperature is dropping into the 40s at night. My breath fogs in the shelter. The plants are slowing down, less productive as the days shorten. I'm harvesting every bean, every tomato, every radish, eating them immediately and saving seeds for spring planting. If I make it to spring, I layer cardboard everywhere. Build a second wall inside the shelter using plastic sheeting and duct tape, trying to create dead air space for insulation. It helps, but not enough. I'm cold all the time now. Saw my breath this morning. First frost coming soon. Day 94, and the beans finally stopped producing. I picked the last pod yesterday, small, misshapen, but still food. Ate it raw. The plants are yellowing, dying back as winter approaches. I pull them up and compost the plant matter. Save every single bean from the dried pods for next year. If there is a next year, the tomatoes are done too. Last few fruits rotted on the vine before they could ripen. I have maybe 6 good tomatoes left, storing them carefully, eating one every few days to make them last. The lettuce is still growing, slow but steady. Radishes too. Cold weather crops, they'll keep me alive. Maybe. Day 97, and I hear an explosion. Big one, some miles away to the north. I see the flash first, bright orange blooming against the gray afternoon sky. Then the sound rolls over everything, this deep bass whoomp that I feel in my chest. Mushroom cloud of black smoke rises up. Something blew up. Gas main, maybe. Or someone trying to blow up zombies. Or someone fighting over supplies. The smoke is visible for 2 days before it finally dissipates. I wonder how many people just died. Wonder if any of them were trying to survive like me. Day 100 and it snows. Just flurries, nothing that sticks. But I stand in the greenhouse and watch the flakes fall and disappear and think about the first time I saw snow as a kid, visiting my grandparents in Vermont. How magical it seemed. Now it just seems like another thing trying to kill me. I need to insulate better. Need fuel for the camping stove. Need warmer clothes. Need. The list is endless. I make myself coffee, precious coffee, and sit in my shelter wrapped in my sleeping bag and every piece of clothing I own and try to stay warm. My fingers are stiff. Hard to write in my notebook. I've been keeping a log, just dates and brief notes. Today I write, Day 100, still alive? Not sure why. Day 103 and I'm sick again. Worse this time. Fever, chills, cough that feels like it's tearing my lungs apart. I can't get warm. Can't stop shaking. This is it. This is how I die. Not zombies, not starvation. Just a regular illness that would have been nothing before. Now it's a death sentence. I drink water, sleep, wake up delirious, unsure if hours or days have passed. Stare at the tarp ceiling and see faces in the wrinkles. Hear voices that aren't there. My mom's voice, telling me to come inside for dinner. Emma's laugh. My brother asking if I'm okay. None of them are real. I don't know how long the fever lasts. Long enough that I lose track of days. When I finally wake up clear-headed enough to think, my water containers are almost empty. I must have been drinking constantly without remembering. I'm weaker than before. Can barely stand. My legs shake when I try to walk. But I'm alive. The radio is somehow still running, still scanning through static. I must have left it on. I turn it off to save batteries, and the silence is so complete, it's like being dead. Day 112? 15? I don't know anymore. I lost track during the fever. I mark it as day 110, splitting the difference, and try to rebuild my routine. Water the lettuce. Harvest 3 small radishes. Eat them with salt and a spoonful of peanut butter. Coffee made weak to stretch the supply. Scan the radio even though I know there's nothing. Look at the city spread out below. Smoke in 3 places. Fires burning unchecked. The zombies are still down there, slower now, many of them just standing in place like broken mannequins. I see a dog pack running through an intersection. 5 or 6 dogs, all sizes. Survivors adapting to the new world. I hope they make it. Day 115 and someone's on my rooftop. I hear them before I see them. Footsteps on the roof, access stairs. Metal door scraping open. The shelf I put there is being moved. I grab my gun. 15 rounds. I've never fired it. Hands shaking so bad I can barely hold it steady. The footsteps are coming closer. I'm in the shelter with the door latched, but the latch is just a hook and eye, wouldn't stop anyone determined. Hello? A voice. Male, sounds young. Is anyone here? I don't answer, barely breathe. I saw your garden from the building next door, the tomato plants. I need food. Please, I'm not going to hurt anyone. My finger is on the trigger. Safety off. I could shoot through the shelter wall. Could kill whoever this is before they even know I'm armed. Please, the voice says again. Cracking, desperate. I haven't eaten in 4 days. If you have anything, please. I make a decision, probably a stupid one. Stay where you are, I call out. My voice sounds strange after so long talking only to myself. Don't come any closer. Silence, then. Okay, I'm stopped. I'm not moving. I unlatch the door. I open it a crack. The gun pointed out. There's a kid on my roof. 17, 18 maybe. Skinny in the way that means starving, not naturally thin. Dark hair matted and greasy. Clothes that used to be expensive, now torn and filthy. He's got his hands up, empty, showing me he's not a threat. Don't shoot, he says, voice high and scared. Please don't shoot. I look at him and see myself 10 days ago, sick and weak and desperate. See a future where I might need someone else's mercy. You alone? I ask. He nods. Everyone else is dead. My family, my friends, everyone. You been bitten? No, I swear. Look. He He pulls up his sleeves, shows me his arms. Scratches and bruises, but no bites. Turns around slowly. I'm clean. I lower the gun slightly. How'd you know I was here? Your tomato plants. Saw them when I was on the roof next door. Figured someone was taking care of them. Was hoping, I don't know, hoping someone would help. I should turn him away. My food is barely enough for one person. Can't support two. It's survival. Simple math. But I'm so tired of being alone. What's your name? I ask. Justin. Okay, Justin. Here's the deal. I have some food. Not much. You can have a little. But then you need to leave. Find your own place. Understand? His face crumples. For a second, I think he's going to cry. But he just nods. Thank you. Thank you so much. I give him a can of soup and a handful of crackers. Watch him eat like a starving animal, not even bothering to heat the soup. Just jams the cold contents into his mouth with his fingers. When he's done, he looks at me with these desperate eyes and asks, "Can I stay? Just for a night? And I haven't slept somewhere safe in weeks. I'll leave tomorrow. I promise." Every rational part of my brain says no. But my mouth says, "One night. You sleep outside the shelter. You try anything and I'll shoot you. Clear?" Clear, yes. Thank you. He sleeps curled up against the greenhouse wall, using his jacket as a blanket. I stay in the shelter with the door latched and the gun loaded, and I don't sleep at all. Morning comes. Justin is still there, still breathing. Not a zombie, not dead. Just a kid who survived somehow. You should go, I tell him. He looks at the garden, at the shelter, at me. Can I help? With the plants? I know how to garden. My mom had a whole setup on our balcony. I could work, earn my keep. I should say no. I say, show me. He does. Knows the difference between weeds and seedlings. Then knows how to water properly, how to check soil moisture. He transplants some lettuce starts I've been babying and does it correctly, carefully. My mom taught me, he says quietly. Before, she was really into the whole urban farming thing. Where is she now? He doesn't answer. Doesn't need to. I make another decision. Another, probably stupid one. You can stay, for now. But you work. You contribute. And if food runs too low, you're gone. Understand? I understand. I'll work hard, I promise. So now there's two of us. Day 120 and Justin is still here. He's been useful, I'll give him that. Helped me reinforce the shelter walls with more insulation, found a tarp on the roof next door and brought it back to create a second layer of waterproofing. He's stronger than he looks, wiry and quick. We eat together. Small portions of soup, crackers, the last of the peanut butter split between us. It goes faster with two people, but somehow it feels less desperate. Having someone else here makes the world seem slightly less dead. He doesn't talk much about his family. I don't push. We all have ghosts now. Day 125, and we see people on the street. Not zombies, living people. A group of maybe 8, armed with rifles and pistols, moving in formation. They're clearing zombies efficiently, systematically. Headshots, no wasted ammunition. Justin wants to signal them. I hold him back. Why not, he asks. They could help us. We could join them. Or they could take our supplies, take our shelter. We don't know them. We don't know anyone anymore. He's right, but I don't care. I've survived this long by being cautious, by staying hidden. We watch the group clear the block and move on. They leave bodies behind, zombies with holes in their heads, true dead now. Whatever they're doing, they're organized. Military maybe, or survivors who figured out how to fight back. After they're gone, Justin says, we can't hide forever. Watch me, I reply. Day 130, and it's properly cold now. Frost every morning. The lettuce is struggling. Radishes are done. I harvest the last of them, and we eat them with salt, and that's it for fresh vegetables until spring. If we make it to spring. We spend most of the day inside the shelter now, pressed together for warmth. It's awkward at first, sharing space with someone I barely know. But cold beats awkward. We sleep back to back in the sleeping bag, fully clothed, mossed, and I keep the gun close, but I don't think he's going to try anything. He's just a scared kid looking for safety. Aren't we all? Day 135, and we run out of coffee. I knew it was coming, but it still hurts. The last cup is weak and bitter and barely warm. I split it with Justin, and we drink it slowly, savoring every drop. My dad drank coffee every morning, Justin says, like 4 cups before work. Mom said he was addicted. Was? He got bit on day 2, turned in our apartment. Mom and I locked ourselves in her bedroom. We could hear him outside the door for hours, scratching, trying to get in. He stares at his cup. Eventually, he stopped, went away. We waited 3 days before we tried to leave. He was gone. Found him later, or something that used to be him, downtown near his office, or like he'd tried to go to work. I don't know what to say to that. So I just nod and finish my coffee. Day 140, and we're both sick. Same thing I had before. Fever, chills, cough. We take turns being delirious, one of us staying conscious enough to make sure the other drinks water. Justin hallucinates his mom, calls out for her, cries like a child. I hallucinate Emma. She's standing at the edge of the roof telling me to jump, saying it'll be easier. No more cold, no more hunger, just quick and done. I'm tempted, but Justin needs me, or I need him, or we need each other. Something like that. We survive. Again. Somehow, day 145, and we're both recovering. Weak and shaky, but fever-free. We've gone through most of the canned food. Maybe 2 weeks left if we stretch it. After that, it's whatever we can scavenge or grow. We need to go out, Justin says. Find more supplies. Not yet. Too weak. We'll be weaker if we wait until we're starving. He's right. I hate that he's right. We plan a scavenging run. Wait 3 more days to get our strength back. Inventory our supplies, figure out what we need most. Food, obviously, medicine, fuel for the stove, warmer clothes, batteries. The list is long. Too long. Day 148, and we go. We leave at dawn, both of us armed. Me with the Glock, Justin with a crowbar he found. We take backpacks and cloth bags, move across the rooftops using the route I discovered before, that plank bridge between buildings. Justin is scared. I can see it in how he moves, jerky and hesitant. But he doesn't back out, and we find a way down in the next building. Fire escape that's old but intact. Climb down to the 3rd floor where a window is broken. Slip inside. It's an office building. Cubicles and break rooms and conference spaces. We check the break room first. Vending machines already smashed and emptied. But there's a storage closet with coffee and tea and powdered creamer, and I want to cry with relief. We stuff it all in our bags. There's a first aid kit on the wall. We take it. Office supplies that might be useful. Duct tape, scissors, plastic sheeting, bungee cords. We hear shuffling on the floor below. Freeze. Listen. Zombies. More than one. They haven't heard us yet. We move quietly to the stairs. Head up instead of down. Find an executive office on the top floor with a mini fridge. Long dead, but there's bottled water inside. And warm but sealed. We take it all. The window overlooks the street. I can see my building from here, my rooftop greenhouse visible in the pale winter sun. Can see zombies shuffling below. Maybe 30 of them in this immediate area. One of them looks up, sees us in the window. It doesn't move, doesn't react, just stares with empty eyes. We should go, Justin whispers. We make it back to the fire escape and up to the roof. Cross the plank bridge, easier the second time. Back to our shelter with bags full of supplies, coffee, water, first aid supplies, duct tape and plastic sheeting, a space heater we found in a closet that might work if we can figure out power. We made it, both of us. No bites, no injuries. We eat a celebratory meal, soup heated on the camping stove, crackers, weak coffee. It's the best meal I've had in months. We're a good team, Justin says. Maybe we are. Day 155, and we established new routines. Justin handles morning plant care while I manage food rationing and meal planning. We scavenge every few days, hitting different buildings, staying careful. We're getting better at it. Learning which places are likely to have supplies, which ones to avoid. We found a pharmacy on day 152. Mostly cleared out, but we got antibiotics, pain meds, vitamins, stuff that might keep us alive. Found a sporting goods store on day 154. Got warmer clothes, thermal underwear, wool socks, a better sleeping bag, hand warmers that are expired but might still work. We're surviving. Together. The zombies are everywhere, but they're slower now. Literally falling apart. We've seen them lose limbs, collapse and not get up. The virus, or whatever it is, seems to be burning itself out. Or maybe that's wishful thinking. Day 160, and we run into other survivors. 3 of them, in a building we're scavenging. They have guns pointed at us before we even know they're there. Drop your weapons, a woman's voice says. Hard. No room for argument. We drop them. My Glock, a Justin's crowbar. They search us. Take our backpacks. 3 people, the woman who spoke. Tall and muscular with a shaved head. A man about my age, white, military bearing. An older Asian man with glasses and a limp. Where's your camp? The woman asks. Don't have one, I lie. Just moving building to building. She doesn't believe me, I can tell. But she doesn't push it. We're organizing, she says. There's a group of us, about 40 people. Safe location, food, water, medicine. You want in? It sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? Everyone works, everyone contributes. No freeloaders, no bullshit. She looks us over. You two look like you've been surviving okay. Could use people who know how to handle themselves. Justin looks at me, hopeful, wanting this. I look at the 3 armed strangers and think about 40 people in one place, about group dynamics and hierarchies, and how quickly everyone contributes can become slavery. We'll think about it, I say. The woman shrugs. Suit yourself. But winter's coming for real. You're going to want walls and heat and more than 2 people watching your back. She gives us directions to their camp. Check it out if you change your mind, or don't, in your call. They take half our supplies as a tax for being in their territory. Let us keep our weapons. Leave. Justin is quiet on the way back. Finally, he says, we should go. Check it out at least. No. Why not? What if they're telling the truth? What if it's actually safe? Nothing's safe. Our rooftop won't be safe either when the real cold hits. We don't have enough fuel to heat the shelter. We're gonna freeze. He's right, again. But I don't trust them. Don't trust anyone. We argue about it for the next week. Day 168, and I give in. We'll check out the camp, just check it out. Not commit to anything. We follow the directions. 3 blocks west, into the old financial district. Look for the building with blue tarps on the roof. We find it. Tall office building, maybe 20 stories. All blue tarps visible even from the street. Smoke coming from somewhere inside. Guards posted at the entrance, 2 people with rifles. They see us coming, raise their weapons, but don't fire. Here to see the camp, I call out. Someone told us about it. One of the guards, a black woman with her hair in elaborate braids, nods. Yeah? Who told you? Tall woman, shaved head. Didn't get her name. That's Rodriguez. She clear you? Said we could check it out. The guards confer. Finally, the woman says, Okay, but you leave your weapons here. Get 'em back when you leave. I don't want to, but we're outnumbered and outgunned. We hand them over, get patted down for hidden weapons. Then we're escorted inside. The building is lit by camp lanterns and candles. Warm, actually warm. I can hear a generator running somewhere. People are moving around, cooking, talking, working. Kids playing in a corner, actual kids, alive, laughing. It's surreal. Rodriguez meets us on the 3rd floor. She's cooking something that smells like heaven. Stew, maybe. You came, she says. Sounds surprised. Just looking, I reply. She shows us around. They've got the 3rd through 8th floors secured. Multiple families per floor, divided into sections with curtains and furniture. Communal kitchen, water collection system, gardens on multiple balconies. A medical area run by an actual doctor. We've got power for 4 hours a day, Rodriguez explains. Generator runs on fuel we scavenge. Everyone gets 2 meals a day, 3 if you're working a dangerous job like scavenging or perimeter guard. We've got rotating watch schedules, work assignments based on skills. What if someone doesn't pull their weight? I ask. 3 warnings, then you're out. Out where? The city's full of zombies. She shrugs. Then I guess you better pull your weight. It's not perfect, but it's organized. Functional. More than I thought possible. Justin is sold. I can see it in his face. He wants this. Community, safety in numbers, the warmth and food in other people. I want to say no. I want to go back to our rooftop where things are simple, just the 2 of us against the world. But he's right about winter, about the cold, about how we're going to struggle. We'll think about it, I tell Rodriguez. She gives me a look that says she knows I'm going to say yes eventually. Don't think too long. Winter's going to hit hard and we might not have room later. We leave. We get our weapons back. Walk back to our building in silence. Day 170 and we're still arguing. Justin wants to join the camp. I want to stay independent. 40 people is 40 mouths to feed, I say. 40 personalities to deal with. 40 potential problems. 40 people is also 40 people watching for zombies. 40 people scavenging. 40 people solving problems together. You trust them? No. But I don't trust winter either. Day 175, and I'm alone on the roof. Justin went to check on something in the building below, and I'm here with the dead garden and the freezing air in my thoughts. I think about Emma, about my brother in Seattle who might be alive or might be dead, about my parents who retired to Arizona and are probably zombie food now. I think about surviving versus living. The rooftop is survival, cold and isolated and just barely scraping by. The camp might be living, community and warmth and the possibility of something more than just not dying. But it might also be betrayal and violence and all the horrible things people do to each other when resources are scarce. I don't know which fear is stronger. Justin comes back up, brings news. Found a radio in one of the apartments. Still works. Got a signal. What kind of signal? Government broadcast. They're setting up safe zones. Big ones in major cities. Military protection, food, water, shelter. They're calling for survivors to make their way to designated areas. My heart speeds up. Where's the nearest one? Port Authority, downtown, maybe 3 miles from here. 3 miles through a city full of zombies. But if it's real, if there's actual government support, actual rescue, could be a trap, I say. Could be salvation. We listen to the broadcast together. Automated message on repeat. This is the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Safe zones have been established in major metropolitan areas. If you can hear this message, make your way to the following locations. It lists addresses, promises food, water, medical care, shelter. Says to bring whatever supplies you can carry, but that essentials will be provided. We should tell the camp, Justin says. They could organize an expedition. 40 people moving together would be safer than just 2. He's right. Again, always right. Day 180, and we join the camp. Not permanently, I won't commit to that. But temporarily, to plan this trip to the safe zone. Rodriguez is skeptical. Government's gone, has been for months. This could be automated, playing on repeat from before everything fell apart. Or it could be real, Justin argues. We have to try. They vote on it. The camp has a council, 12 people who make decisions for the group. We present our case, play the broadcast, show them the map to the Port Authority building. 7 vote yes. 5 vote no. We're going. Planning takes a week. They put together a group of 20 people. They're best fighters, people with medical training, people who know the city. I volunteer. Justin volunteers. Rodriguez is leading. We leave on day 188. 20 of us moving through the frozen city, wrapped in layers, unarmed with whatever we have. The zombies are slower in the cold, almost lethargic. We avoid the big groups, take back routes, move building to building where we can. We lose 1 person on day 1. Man named Derek gets separated from the group when we're crossing through a mall. We hear him screaming. By the time we get to him, there's nothing left to save. We leave him behind, twitching and bleeding, and keep moving. Nobody says anything. We all just accept it and move on. Day 2, we reach downtown. The Port Authority building is huge, old granite and marble. There are signs, government signs, official-looking, directing survivors to processing areas. There are also bodies, hundreds of them, piled in the plaza, frozen in the cold. No guards, no soldiers, no safe zone, just death. We search the building anyway. Find evidence people were here, sleeping bags, food wrappers, makeshift camps. But no people. Not alive anyway. What we do find is a room full of supplies, medical equipment, food, water purification tablets, camping gear, military-grade cold weather clothing, and a note written on a whiteboard in what might have been a command center. Relocating to Fort Davidson. Follow I-95 north. Survivors welcome. Fort Davidson. I remember it from somewhere. Military base maybe an hour north of the city. Rodriguez makes the call. We take what we can carry, head back to camp, fortify for winter, maybe try for Fort Davidson in the spring. She's being practical, smart. But looking at that note, at the promise of actual military protection, actual safety. Some people want to go now. Push north to the fort, they argue with Rodriguez. Not tensions rise. Finally, she says, anyone who wants to try for the fort can go. But the majority of us are heading back. We've got people waiting at camp, We can't abandon them. 7 people split off. Want to try for Fort Davidson immediately. The rest of us head back. We make it to camp with supplies and no other casualties. The 7 who left, we never hear from them again. Day 200 in winter hits hard. Real snow, inches of it. The city goes quiet under the white. Zombies are barely moving now, frozen in place like statues. The camp huddles together, burning scavenged furniture and books to stay warm. I gave up the rooftop shelter, moved my plants, what's left of them, to the camp's indoor garden area. Brought my supplies to add to the communal stores. It hurt, giving up my independence, my safety net. But Justin was right. Winter would have killed us on that roof. Here we're surviving, not comfortable, but alive. The generator runs 4 hours a day. We get 2 meals, sometimes 3. There's a rotation for watch duty, for scavenging runs, for cooking and cleaning. Rodriguez put me on the agricultural team. I'm helping set up indoor growing systems, hydroponics using scavenged materials, window boxes, anything we can use to grow food. Justin is on construction crew, helping reinforce the building's defenses. We sleep in a section on the 5th floor with 3 other people. It's cramped and awkward, and I miss my privacy. But it's warm. Day 215, and someone gets bit. Woman named Carol, out on a scavenging run. She hides it, doesn't tell anyone. By the time we figure it out, she's already turned. Attacks 2 people in their sleep. Kills 1 before Rodriguez puts her down. New rule after that. Everyone gets checked after scavenging runs. Full body inspection, no exceptions. The trust in camp takes a hit. People start watching each other with suspicion. Day 223 and I'm on watch duty. 4 a.m. shift, coldest part of the night. I'm on the roof with another guard, man named Paul. We're watching the street, the buildings, looking for movement. Paul asks me, "You think we'll make it? To spring? To anything? You think there's a future here? Or are we just delaying the inevitable?" I think about my rooftop garden, about the plants I coaxed from seeds, about how life keeps trying even when everything else is dead. "I think we're still here," I say. That counts for something. He nods. When we watch the frozen city in silence. Day 230 and the generator breaks. Just stops running mid-cycle. No power. No heat except what we get from burning things. The camp's mechanic, guy named Isaiah, works on it for 3 days. Finally gets it running, but says it won't last. We need parts we don't have, fuel we're running low on. Rodriguez calls a council meeting. They decide to ration generator time even more strictly. 2 hours a day now. 1 in the morning, 1 at night. People are angry, scared. The temperature inside the building drops. We see our breath indoors now. Day 240, and Justin gets pneumonia. Starts as a cough, gets worse fast. The camp doctor, her name is Sarah, used to be a pediatrician, does what she can. Antibiotics from our scavenged supplies, rest, fluids. But he's getting worse. Where I sit with him during my off hours, watch him shiver under every blanket we can find. "Sorry," he says during a lucid moment. "Sorry I convinced you to leave the roof." "You didn't convince me. I made my choice." "Still, you were doing okay up there. Better than this." "I was alone up there. This is better." He smiles, falls back asleep. Day 245, and he's getting better. Fever breaking, cough less severe. He's going to make it. I realized somewhere along the way he stopped being just some kid who needed help and became something else. Friend, family, the only person in this new world who knows what I've been through. We're sitting together, him wrapped in blankets when he asks, "What did you do before? Like for work?" Data analyst. Spent all day looking at spreadsheets in a cubicle. Sounds boring. It was. But it was safe and predictable, and now I'd give anything to have it back. I was supposed to start college this year, he says. Had a scholarship and everything. Computer science. My parents were so proud. Were, past tense. We sit in silence after that. Day 250 in spring feels impossible. It's February. Cold and dark, and the supplies are running low despite rationing. We're down to 1 meal a day. People are getting sick, getting desperate. There are fights now, arguments over resources. Someone stole food from the communal kitchen, and when they were caught, Rodriguez had to make an example. Kicked them out of the camp into the frozen streets. We heard them screaming for maybe an hour. Nobody steals after that. Day 260 and the zombies are thawing. As the weather warms slightly, we see them moving again. Slow and shambling, but mobile. The frozen peace is ending. Scavenging runs get more dangerous. We lose 2 more people in a week. The camp population is down to 32. Day 270, and I'm so tired. Tired of being cold. Tired of being hungry. Tired of watching people die. Tired of surviving. But the plants are growing. My little indoor garden is producing sprouts. Lettuce and radishes and herbs. Not enough to feed everyone, but something. Proof that life continues. I tend them like they're precious. Because they are. Day 280, and Rodriguez calls a meeting. Full camp, everyone present. We can't stay here, she says. Not long term. We're running out of supplies, running out of fuel. We're running out of options. She pauses. I think we should try for Fort Davidson, not in winter. But when spring comes for real, when the weather breaks, we make a run for it. There's debate. Some people want to stay, make this building work. Others agree with Rodriguez. The vote is close, but it passes. We're going to try for the fort. Preparation starts immediately. We need supplies for the journey, need to scout routes, need to get stronger, healthier, ready for 60 miles through zombie territory. I help with planning. Justin helps with supply gathering. We work together like we have been for months now. Partners in survival. Day 300 and the snow is melting. It's March. The streets are turning to slush and melt water. Zombies are more active, but also more rotten. Some of them literally fall apart as they walk. If the camp is preparing, everyone has a role for the journey. Scouts, guards, medics, supply carriers. We're going to move as a unit, stay together, watch each other's backs. 40 people became 32, became 28. We lost 4 more over the winter. Disease, accidents, 1 suicide. But 28 is still 28. Still survivors, still fighting. Day 310, and we leave at dawn. Everything we can carry packed into backpacks and duffel bags. We take the generator. 2 people carry it on a makeshift litter. We take weapons, food, medical supplies, seeds from my garden. We take hope. The city is a graveyard. Buildings collapsed from winter damage. Bodies frozen and thawed and frozen again. Zombies shambling through streets that used to be neighborhoods. We move north, following E95. Stay off the highway itself, too exposed. Move through side streets, through buildings when we can. Day 1, we make maybe 5 miles. Camp in an abandoned office building, set watches, eat cold food, sleep in shifts. Day 2, we lose Marcus. Zombie came out of nowhere. By the time we got to him, he'd been bitten. We knew what we had to do. I made myself watch, made myself remember his name. Marcus Henderson, 24 years old, wanted to be a teacher. Rodriguez shot him before he could turn. We kept moving. Day 3 through 10 blur together. Moving, hiding, fighting. We lose 3 more people. Down to 24 now. But we're making progress, mile by mile. Closer to Fort Davidson. On day 11, we see signs. Actual military signs. Survivors proceed to checkpoint Alpha. Arrows pointing north. We follow them. Day 12, we reach the fort. It's real. Walls, guard towers, armed soldiers in actual military uniforms. An American flag flying. They see us coming. Raise weapons. A voice over a loudspeaker. Halt. State your business. Rodriguez calls back. Survivors from the city, looking for sanctuary. There's a pause. Then, are any of you bitten or injured? No. Are you carrying weapons? Yes. Leave them at the gate. You'll be screened and processed. If you're clean, you're welcome. We leave our weapons, all of them. My Glock that I carried for 300 and whatever days, gone. They process us one by one. Medical check, interview, decontamination shower. That's the most amazing thing I've ever felt. Clean clothes, hot food, real beds. 24 of us made it. It's 24 out of the original 40 who started at the camp. Justin and I share a bunk in the survivor quarters. Actual mattresses, actual blankets. We made it, he says. Sounds like he can't believe it. Yeah, I reply. We did. I don't know what happens next. Don't know if this fort is sustainable, if the military can actually protect us, if there's a future beyond just surviving day to day. But right now, lying in a real bed with my stomach full and my body clean, I let myself hope. The greenhouse on the rooftop is gone. The city is gone. The world I knew is gone. Thanks for watching, guys. I will be back with another story.